Oh, right. Where is this? I'm not going to do this now. I'll do this some other time. Copy. Oh, where does this go? All right, so in the studio, not well. Ginger and lemon tea. Working with Telmo really hard on trying to finalize some stuff for the manual. Of course, you know, when you're not well, it takes twice as long to do everything because your brain is twice as slow. I thought I'd show you guys something that that was really fascinating, really interesting technique, and you're just going to have to bear with me because my brain really isn't working. No, I'm not feeling better just yet. A little bit better, but you know, hopefully the ginger and lemon and honey tea will help with that. So came in because I needed to do some artwork, and I thought I'd just show you guys quickly what this is, what's going on. So every surface in the studio has bits of the manual open on it. Let's just move this. So I've just redrawn these so that I can compare the kink in the ink at a larger scale for you, because this is one of the pages. So this is the Minuscule anatomy page, which is completely redone, which I'll show you in a second. 2 sets of notes for the majuscules and 2 sets of notes for the minuscules. So we fill the call out sheet. I did a little section. Where is it? Let's see if I can find it. I did a little section. So this is one of the 4 full symmetry pages. This is the one you saw yesterday, showing 2 different movements, which is the reason why I decided to do this little live feed, even though I sound like I'm completely clogged up, which I am. So for all you left-handers, here's a full page of 6 different pen holes. Right-handers, you have 3, including mine, which is 4. And then I did these little pen-drawn illustrations to show you where the page can be positioned and where you can be positioned in relation to the page. These illustrations might be a little bit confusing, but once you sit down and you sort of try out the pages, you can see where they sit. Telmo's been working on this, why the line of universal beauty and the connective stroke is so important as a group, as one stroke rather than 2 separate strokes. These are the large copperplate letters which make up that page, and this is Telmo's redrawing of the line of universal beauty connective stroke, and this is me working out the new layout for the minuscules, having a little bit of fun there. So this is my modern loose script, which I've done for Telmo, and I had to make a card for someone, so it's black with copper, and of course, yay, strepsils. So this is what we've been working on with all those call outs. So on each letter, we're trying to find a way to fit all this copy in, and it's not just that letter, it's all the letters, to show you where you'll have problems, why you'll have problems, things to look out for, what not to do, where to slow down, where to press. I'm just going to run into the office very quickly. As you can see, the office is... So this is an article I wrote like 15 years ago. We've altered the structure of the variation so that you can see why there are different ways to write the same letter. And there are notes under there. I'll look at that with you in the other manual, one of the updated ones. Hello, Mr. Spider, for those of you who hate spiders. This is the new layout for the minuscules. So we have basic shapes, getting into slightly more complex shapes, and then these are all original images that I scanned. So for those of you who haven't seen, this is my little office, which is a little bit messy. Oh, you have no idea how detailed this book is. Angie, we have nothing on the back cover of the manual. I actually have no work in this manual, except for all the images of the... Maybe I shouldn't stand that way. Trying to get away from a bright light. Oh, just do this. I actually have no work in the manual except for all the letters and all their parts and all that. So Angie's trying to convince me to do something for the back cover. Now Tim has suggested putting a picture of myself on the back cover so people actually know what I look like, with a block of text. Now, oh, so that's obviously a yes. I found something that I did a long time ago. About, what year are we in? 2007. 17 years ago. And I thought it would be nice to maybe use part of it, or maybe something similar to it, in the manual. So this is a piece that I did ages ago, when I was at Reigate, studying calligraphy, heraldry, and gilding. And it's based on, obviously it's the creation myth from the one of the Greek creation myths. And it's quite an interesting way of looking at the script from a contemporary perspective, but also how it would have done in how some of the illustrations that we find in the Universal Penman, which is, I'll do this on the sofa. I've actually had to put out a separate table. So this is the Universal Penman. So we can find a block of text. Let's see. Actually, it might be better to use his description. So this is a book that Bickham did as well, called The British Monarchy, or Descriptions of the Dominions of Great Britain. It's a really amazing book, absolute nightmare to find. And so that inspired this. Of course, the other thing that inspired it was, I used to collect these. Maybe not this one. Maybe this one. Yeah. I know, so irreverent. So these are deeds. I think the first one I've given away the first couple parts of this one, and it shows you how they choose different scripts. But maybe this wasn't the best example. So they're quite amazing things, and here we go. So we have received there, almost double or nearly triple the size of the other bit of copperplate script. So this is 1863. And so one of the things I was conscious of doing in the manual is to give you a sense of history and how historical sources can be a great source of inspiration. Right. Oh, God, it's really tiring doing this when you're not well. So I'm going to show you this thing. Let me just set up the phone quickly. So you'll have to bear with me. Sorry about this. All right. I even go out and I start drawing on napkins because something pops into my head. Right. If we put this here, we do this here. If we put this in here. So one of the things I was looking at was how. So there are two aspects to this thing that I've been working on called continuous movement. And the first aspect of this facet. So I'm gonna have to turn the page at an angle, otherwise I won't be able to see because the camera's in the way. The first aspect of the facet is this. So a line and another line and a B. Let me just do these quickly. This is just really roughly done because it's not the letter that I want to show you what happens. And so the first aspect of this is, oh God, I should have been a little bit more prepared for this, is the fact that there are a series of straight lines. Now, whenever you do a line of universal beauty, you don't just put the pen here. You have to get from the baseline to the cap height, because this is the starting point. So you want to go and connective stroke, which is at 50. This is at 55. Up to the line of universal beauty. Stop, down, up and around, and stop, and up at another connective stroke, which is at 55, down into the curve, up, curve, curve, up, another, look at this, another downward shape, and another upward shape. So this shows that the whole letter is one stroke. It's not, I know when you think of this, you think of this is one part and this is one part and this is another part and that's a part and that's a part. This is all done in one stroke, really slowly and really rhythmically. And that's how the letters have balance to them. That's how they have form to them. That's how they have rhythm engendered in them. If you just put the pen here and you're trying to start the line of universal beauty from there, without moving up and inhaling and exhaling and inhaling on the upstroke and exhaling on the downstroke and inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale and exhale and inhale and exhale and inhale, that gets you back to where you're starting the next lowercase. And it's a really fascinating way to look at the letters. Now, so we have this connective stroke, which is at 50 degrees. We have the line of universal beauty, which is at 55. Then we have another connective stroke and another line of universal beauty and another connective stroke and another line of universal beauty. So that there are actually three strokes here, because the third stroke, which you don't see, is this. When you get up to the top, you don't go up and turn, you go up and stop, because you're preparing to change direction. If you're driving a car and you change direction suddenly, you'll probably have an accident. So the next aspect of this is this stupid little exercise that everybody thinks is a stupid little exercise, and it's actually a really, really important exercise. You see this? This is one of the most important exercises you could learn, because the line of universal beauty can either start with a connective stroke, so technically a straight line, or it can start with a horizontal ellipse. I'm slowing down, and I'm slowing down, and little turn, up and down, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, little turn, and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 and 11 and 12. And that's how you get rhythm in the stroke. So there are two ways to approach this. So that's something that we cover in this section manual. In this continuous movement section. So Talma and I corrected all of this last night, so all of it's changed. So don't bother to take a photo of this because you're just wasting your time. It's too confusing. And so we're showing here the continuous movement simple with straight lines, and the continuous movement complex with ellipses and how they work together. I know the manual is taking a little bit longer than we said it would, but it's this kind of we sent it off to Speedball last week, and they've read through all of the copy. I've deleted just a little bit and added some more copy because we ran out of space in some areas and I had to alter the copy a little bit. I've also added some new assignments. Oh, thank you, Special Agent. Sorry about the sniffles. I've added some new... oh, God, I need some paracetamol. I've added some new assignments to help you work through the manual. But once you get this, well, once we hand the final stuff into Speedball, which should be the end of this coming week, we'll find out what the deadline is, what the due date is with the... God, I feel really terrible, actually. With the printers, and then we can let you know when it's going to start working and when it's going to come out and all of that. And where to get it from. What else? Yeah, I'm gonna go because my brain really isn't working and I really shouldn't be doing a live, not feeling well. And I need to talk to Talmo because I want to get through some more of the stuff because I really want to get this out, and there are some other things to do. Because of course, the second, third and fourth manuals are also being planned already. You probably didn't hear that because I was holding the camera mic over my hand. So I need to get this out to you because the second, third and fourth manuals are already being planned. Yep, ginger and lemon tea with honey, drinking it all the time. Only problem is, you know, there's only so much of it you can drink. All right, thank you very much for taking the time on a Sunday to watch this, and have a nice day ahead. Bye.